Barcelona doesn't feel right when you first arrive. The buildings curve when they should be straight. The most famous landmark in the city has been under construction for over 100 years. Here's what most first-timers don't understand until it's too late. Nothing about this city was considered a good idea when it was made. The church everyone photographs was more than 100 years from completion when the man who designed it died on the street, unrecognized, mistaken for a beggar. The buildings most visitors photograph on the city's most fashionable boulevard were publicly maligned by the press when they went up. The language the people around you are speaking right now was officially banned for 36 years. Barcelona doesn't feel right because it was never designed to feel normal. It was designed to feel like something you haven't seen before. The streets in the Gothic Quarter are narrow on purpose. They were built by people who understood that a maze slows an invading force, and that shade is more valuable than sunlight in a Mediterranean summer. 2,000 years later, they still work exactly the way they were designed. The Barcelona Cathedral at the center of the quarter was begun in May 1st, 1298. Barcelona doesn't always hide the seams. Sometimes it just adds another layer. That's the top of the hour. Did we time that perfect or what? The cloister behind the cathedral holds one of the city's quieter details. 13 white geese, maintained for centuries in memory of Saint Eolilila, the patron saint of Barcelona, martyred at age 13. One goose for each year of her age. The tradition has continued without interruption. Walk the left side of the cathedral. Follow the wall until it opens into the cloister courtyard. Most visitors never make it this far. Believe it or not, these are wood doors, but they have metal plating on the outside, like a tin or something that they've bracketed on. Pretty though, huh? When you see the grand scale of them. Part of the fun to go into other countries is cultures and traditions. Believe it or not, this is a symbol of good luck. Well, wait a minute. Maybe it's not just this that's the good luck, but maybe it's actually this is good luck in Catalan, because he's fertilizing the pastures for the following year, and that was part of the nativity scene in Catalan, and they would have them in their houses and so on, that it was really good luck that he was defecating, fertilizing for the following year. Now, many public figures have actually had their honor of being immortalized in a figure with their trousers down and dropping a pile. That's pretty cool, huh? They got a whole store of it here. Let me show you. Oh, we got some tourists here having some fun. Here we go. Oh, dropping. He's fertilizing. Look at all of these. Look at all of these. And of course, you have your Hillary Clinton, your Donald Trump, your Barack Obama. Even good old honest Abe is dropping a load. Every turn you come around, it just gets prettier and prettier. You never know what you're gonna find around the next bend. The Gothic Quarter is where Barcelona began. You may have a really cool art structure. That's pretty cool. But what most visitors don't know is that the buildings everyone photographs on the boulevard just a few blocks away, they nearly didn't exist. In the first years of the 20th century, the residents of Passage de Gracia, then Barcelona's most fashionable street, were watching something strange being built on their block. A building
that should have been elegant and conventional was becoming something else entirely. The press coined a phrase for the block, the Manzana de la Discordia, the block of discord. The building permit for this renovation had been debated. It was narrowly approved.
Our tickets are 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m. You do get a 15-minute grace period.
The building was Casa Batillo, renovated between 1904 and 1906. The architect was Antoni Gaudí. And what Gaudí had done, what he always did, was begin with a principle, not a style. There are no straight lines in nature, he said. Therefore, buildings should have none either. He spent hours watching how trees grow, how shells form, how light moves through water. He believed that man creates with straight lines, while God fills nature with curves. He was trying to close that gap. The central light shaft inside Casa Batillo runs from the roof to the basement.
I want to point out a few features that you may not know unless you're told. Notice the size of that window. Notice the color of the tile. As we go up, the colors of the tiles change progressively. The windows grow smaller. And notice you get up to an indigo blue at the very top and a small window. The reason is Gaudí wanted to distribute light evenly throughout the building. So the most intense light at the top would be the smaller window, and then gradually getting larger as you go down, and lighter color tiles to reflect more light into the larger window so that every floor would have evenly dispersed light. That is some serious thought, right? I mean, changing of the colors of the tile, the changing of the size of the windows. Yeah, I don't think his classmates were correct of him being a madman. Might be talking and dealing with a genius here. There's where the light comes in. Small windows. Dark tile, bigger windows, lighter tile, all the way down.
The whole building is a passive lighting system disguised as a work of art, designed before electrical lighting was standard.
Okay, we're up on the top for the concert here. They got that decorated nice.
The press called it discord in 1906. The world calls it genius now. This pattern repeats everywhere in Barcelona.
Oh, it was incredible. All the intricacies and the thought and just the wavy wood and the banisters and the doors and the sliding windows up and the systems.
Oh my
it's just
gosh.
so thought
and all
out.
The tiles and the color. And
right?
Gaudí dedicated his career to more than a dozen major buildings, but one project consumed the last 43 years of it. By the end, it was the only thing he thought about. Construction on the Sagrada Familia began on March 19, 1882. The original architect quit within a year over a dispute about construction materials. Antoni Gaudí took over in 1883. He was 31 years old. He would work on it for the next 43 years. Gaudí understood early on that he would not live to see it completed. He said, "My client is not in a hurry," referring to God. Every morning he walked to a nearby church to attend confession, then returned back to work. On June 7, 1926, on that morning walk, Gaudí was struck by a tram on the Gran Via de les Cortes Catalanes. He was 73 years old, walking alone, wearing the worn clothes he wore on the construction site. He had no identification. The people who found him assumed he was a beggar. Taxi drivers refused to take him to the hospital. He was eventually carried to a charity hospital. It wasn't until the following day that the chaplain of the Sagrada Familia recognized him. By then, it was too late. Gaudí died on June 10th, 1926, 3 days after the accident. His last words, according to witnesses, were, "Amen, my God." He is buried in the crypt beneath the church he spent his life building. In the centenary year of Gaudí's death, and on 144 years after construction began, the final piece of the central tower of Jesus Christ was installed. At 172.5 meters, it is now the tallest church building in the world. It took longer to build than the Egyptian pyramids. You are looking at the thing Gaudí never saw. He started it, he gave his life to it, other people finished it. And it is, by any measure, exactly what he said it would be. If you want to get in without a ticket, on Sunday mornings, the Sagrada Familia opens for Mass and entry is free. You need to be in line by 5:30 a.m. in the morning at the latest.
It is 6:40 in the morning. Look at this.
At 6:40 in the morning, by the time you get to the front of the line in peak season, you'll be turned away at the door.
If you get here at 6:40, or when we get here, 6:30, 6:40, you ain't getting in. I'm sorry. We're looking at the entrance to go in here. See, even people don't believe that it's the line's actually leaving now.
Well,
But they cut it off. And we thought maybe it was because it was some special event. There's a bunch of people dressed up in tuxedos and, I don't know, wedding or something at 6:40 in the morning. But anyway, nope, she said it's normal. Once we reach capacity, that's it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but like we were literally just right around, like
we were just
right around
there,
the corner right there.
there.
And she goes, I know. Yeah, it's over till 10:30, then get a ticket. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Wow, no exceptions? Like it's our last day. She goes, sorry. Happy? One of the bonuses is you come to Barcelona, you want to see all the stuff, right? Things to do, Barcelona, go, 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 let's not miss it. But you know, one of the things that you want to do is you want to sit down and be like a local and just, you know, here.
Just chill.
Just kind of
The irony is,
take it in.
Matthew doesn't know how to chill. This is he's practicing, right?
But Lexi is teaching me to just chill.
Beautiful.
Need some sugar. Azúcar. Hospital de Saint Pau.
This place is amazing. Who would think to go to a hospital?
And this is by another famous designer in Barcelona. This is one you surely don't want to miss.
Luis Domènech i Montaner was born in 1850, 2 years before Gaudí. By 1877, he was already a professor at the Barcelona School of Architecture, teaching materials and structural science. One of his students was Antoni Gaudí. Gaudí became the most famous architect in Barcelona's history. Domènech remained less known outside Catalonia. This is a common story in the history of art, the teacher outshadowed by the student.
I can't even get much of my wife here at this place. She is out and about, scurrying around, taking photos, and she is in love with this place.
He held a 45-year tenure at the school. He designed buildings that still define the Barcelona skyline. And in 1901, he began the work that would define the second half of his life, the Hospital de Saint Pau. His premise was straightforward and, at the time, considered radical. beauty heals.
And don't forget to look up, because there's detail everywhere.
Not as a metaphor, literally. Patients who recover in spaces filled with natural light, fresh air, gardens, and visual beauty recover better. The hospital should not look like a hospital. It should look like a place worth living in.
They put these, I call them skylights, but they put these really thick glass right in there that lets light in those tunnels. Brilliant design.
He designed skylights into the underground tunnels so that even the passages between wards received natural light. It operated as an active hospital for over 100 years. Dominic died in 1923. Gaudi died 2.5 years later. They were also friends. Gaudi attended Dominic's funeral. On a weekday morning, Hospital de Sant Pau is one of the quieter major sites in Barcelona. The crowds lining up for Gaudi's buildings a few blocks away rarely make it here. Give it 2 hours. Walk slowly, sit in the garden. Entry is €18. The most efficient €18 you'll spend in this city.
I dare you guys to try to find this balcony. So much detail. It's like octopus tentacles. That's my interpretation, the suction. But there you go. I'll give you a little hint. I found a magnet. Check this out. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh, I'm so excited. It's a purchase for sure. Already in the bag.
Every part of this city rewards the person who goes one step farther than they planned. And the viewpoint we promised you at the start, the one we've been building toward, is that last step. In 1939, as the Spanish Civil War was entering its final phase, the Republican government built anti-aircraft fortifications on a hill called Torre de la Rovira in the working-class Carmel neighborhood north of the city center. Large cannons were mounted on concrete emplacements above the city. Between 1936 and 1939, Barcelona endured over 200 air raids. These fortifications defended it. After the war ended, the guns were removed. The bunkers were abandoned. And what remained at 262 meters above sea level was the best 360-degree view of Barcelona in the entire city. To the southeast, the Mediterranean. To the southwest, the hill of Montjuic. To the north, the city rising into the hills. And directly in the center of the skyline, all 172 meters of it, the completed Tower of Jesus Christ of the Sagrada Familia. This is the view we promised you. The bunkers are free. There's no ticket, no gate, no timed entry. Take the metro to the Carmel neighborhood and walk up. Go in the morning before the heat arrives, or in the evening to watch the sun drop over the city. Barcelona doesn't feel right because the things worth building never do, while they're still being built. Five things that don't make the guidebooks. Number 1. Barcelona's beaches were not here 30 years ago. Before the 1992 Olympic Games, the entire waterfront was industrial, factories, warehouses, rail infrastructure. The city rebuilt it entirely for the Games. importing sand from other parts of Spain and from Egypt. The beaches you walk on today were engineered for an event. They look like they've always been there. They haven't. Number 2, the Columbus Monument at the foot of La Rambla. The tall column with Columbus at the top does not point toward America. It points towards the sea, roughly in the direction of North Africa. When it was erected in 1888, the designers decided a monument pointing down the street would look odd. So he faces the Mediterranean instead. Nobody corrected it. Number 3, in the cloister garden behind the Barcelona Cathedral, 13 white geese have been maintained for centuries, one for each year of St. Eulalia's life when she was martyred as the patron saint of the city. They are still there. Walk to the left side of the cathedral to find the cloister entrance. Number 4, wear the right shoes. Barcelona is one of the most walkable cities in Europe, and it is walkable on ancient cobblestone, Roman foundations, and surfaces that have been settling and shifting for 2,000 years. Budget 20,000 steps a day. Comfortable soles are not optional. Number 5, book everything in advance. The Sagrada Familia, Casa Batlló, and Park Güell all have timed entry that sells out days or weeks ahead. The booking systems are not complicated. Use them before you leave home or plan to spend a significant portion of your trip standing outside famous buildings looking at a sold-out sign. Here's what Barcelona teaches you if you give it enough time. The things worth building don't look finished while they're being made. A church under construction for 144 years. A hospital built on the premise that beauty heals. A mountain monastery that has been here for close to 1,000 years and still draws monks willing to live on a serrated rock. Buildings so unlike everything around them that the press had to invent a phrase for the controversy. None of it looked right when it was new. All of it turned out to be right. The architect who spent his life on that church knew he'd never see it finished. He kept going. There is a fortification on a hill in the Carmel neighborhood, built for war, abandoned after the war. Now the best free view in the entire city. From up there, you can see everything Gaudí built, completed, against the Barcelona skyline. He never saw it. You can. Barcelona asks something of you. It asks you to accept that things worth seeing were built by people who knew they would not live to see them. That places worth visiting were considered wrong before they were considered great, and that sometimes the best version of a city is the one that has been slowly becoming itself for 2,000 years without stopping to ask whether anyone liked the direction. Most cities give you somewhere to go. Barcelona gives you something to understand. That's worth the flight. And if you want to see our full experience in Barcelona, the link for the video is right here.